We are very close to completing the RIPE NCC day, and the last presentation of the day is on e-learning for professionals. This presentation was actually prepared by my colleague, so I'm the talking head here. I can explain what the program is all about. Unfortunately, Sandra, the project head of this particular project, couldn't join us today, but maybe she is watching us through live broadcast, webcast, and I hope I will be a good representative for her programs. There are several initiatives of our cooperation with the students community and academic community. We have several programs to this respect. So we'll start with statistics. I want to boast a little bit. In 2018 alone, our trainings that we organize in different cities and now different countries of the region, and there are 74 countries within our region, 2,317 persons attended those face-to-face courses. They take a day or 2 days. Sometimes those trainings last for 3 days, like 1 day for IPv6 basic level, days 2 and 3 IPv6 advanced. Some participants, I know, participants of today's conference attended these trainings themselves, and it means that you're familiar with those projects and you enjoyed them yourselves, you benefited from them yourselves, but still every week of the year our training team is somewhere traveling, somewhere outside of the office, in a new city, in a new country, and we understand that this is not a very efficient way of operating. So we wanted to extend our coverage and offer remote access to those trainings. We started webinars and RIPE NCC Educa. It's a platform where you can discuss various technical aspects. Almost 1,600 people joined webinars, more than 300 are now participants of Educa, and there is now a RIPE NCC Academy as well. 1,215 certificates of RIPE NCC Academy have already been issued. And these are our achievements of last year. However, we pursue a certain goal, which is improving the knowledge of the community, advancing that knowledge, sharing the information and the best practices. We want to build a very strong community that develops with the new knowledge, with the new skills and competencies. So your day-to-day operations, because of that or through that effort, should become more seamless and effortless. So we've been working in this field for years, and we noticed one thing. Our experience shows that those webinars, those trainings are usually attended by professionals, someone who are experienced themselves, people who already have a background in system engineering or network engineering. And we see that there is a gap, however, between the theoretical knowledge that these people obtained at different training courses or the universities and the practical knowledge, things that people encounter in their daily work. And for the younger generation, for the students, probably this gap will be even more pronounced. For 5 or 6 years, or 4 years, they go to school, they learn something, and then they get to the office, and it turns out that this knowledge is pure theory, and your day one at work is hell on earth. Your employer expects something of you, and it's not a secret. You go or find a job after the university. It's very hard to get one because the employers expect you to already have 10 years of experience. So there is this gap between the theory that you learned at school and what the labor market expects from you, and it's a serious gap, and it applies to people of all generations, of all ages, actually. So we decided to approach this matter from a different angle, and we thought for ourselves, why not start sooner? Why do we keep providing trainings to the professionals, people who already have employment? How about we started with a younger generation, with people at the schools, at the universities, to bridge that gap, to build a bridge between that university theory and practical experience. And the output of this brainstorming exercise was a project, our first project, in collaboration with the American University in Beirut. It is our first and only pilot project that is ongoing at the moment. The idea is within IPv6, we build a course around IPv6. Students at this American university study computer science, and those who enrolled into computer science will also read our IPv6 course, and they will do it remotely. And this brings the philosophy of blended learning to life. At the end of this course, the students will pass an exam as if it were their university exam, and this exam will give them credits, and it will be part of their final exam. So it's a project that we are running right now, and we are looking for new partners, other universities who might be interested in having this curriculum from us. Of course, we need partners in Russia as well. However, the course is in English, and we do not intend to translate it into any language, including Russian. So that's one challenge. To find partners in a non-English language countries. And most of the Russian universities are government funded. They are public schools, and for them it's a whole difficult process to integrate a foreign course into their curriculum. However, if you know somebody or a university or a college, some higher education facility, this is completely free of charge for the university. Let's try to do it at least. Please give us the context. However, let's now turn to RIPE NCC certified professionals. It's a completely new, a very fresh, straight from the oven, the completely new idea, a new project. We meet with the community regularly. And at one point we realized that this gap between theory and practice, the problems that we identified in the past and we tried to address already with our programs, and it's not it's not guaranteed that if you pass a training course and you get certified, it's not guaranteed that you will be able to employ that newly acquired knowledge in practice. Over here you see a quote from a great friend of ours. He's Dutch. So basically, in just one phrase, he sums up this problem very concisely. So we try to somehow address this challenge and bring together the knowledge, the practical one, and the theoretical knowledge and the practical skills. So we initiated this program that we hope will help you validate your knowledge. We want the younger generation to join the right community as soon as possible. We want the younger generation to feel themselves stakeholders. We want them to understand that they can contribute to the development of the internet community. This program, this service, is built out of several building blocks. Before we write a new course and we certify participants, we start with interviews. We interview a big number of experts. They help us find the answer to a specific question. What exactly do you need in your day-to-day activity? What knowledge do you need? What should we teach? And how can we make sure that those who were taught actually got the skill? We also try to break down the knowledge into different sections or modules. We are thinking that the programs should be modular. There should be a module for, I don't know, RIPE database and a module for IPv6 so that you can be agile, you can be flexible in managing your own training and certification process. This program is also special because every person who wants to get a certificate should pass an exam. This is what makes this program different from other training courses. At the end of many training courses, you are given, you are awarded a certificate of attendance or a certificate of your presence during the classes. But we don't want you to just be present at the classes. We want you to get the knowledge, get the skills, and that's why we will engage the services of an independent certifier, another organization, a third party, who will check your knowledge. And this will be done remotely. It's an organization that knows how to conduct exams online. It will be a technical platform. I don't want to explain the details, but believe me, we are taking this very seriously. And the test, the exam, you will not be able to cheat during the process, because we must be sure that if we issue a certificate, if we issue a digital badge to everyone who passed the exam, we must be sure that the skills are really present, that the certificate does not lie. Digital badges have an advantage over paper certificates. The digital badge will contain all possible information about you and your skills and competencies. We designed this digital, well, we did not design it. Well, actually, we use a third-party service. Anyway, the idea is you will be able to post this digital badge in your profile in LinkedIn. And a potential employer will be able to click this badge and find out your background and your history. You will not be able to falsify this badge. The data is stored in a cloud. So all of this is done so that there emerges a whole community of certified specialists whose knowledge was tested, who was not merely present at a training course. Questions? Hi, I'm Timothy. I've got a question. This program, is it free or will you charge a fee? Well, because it is such a new project, we're still building a business case for it. We're still thinking about the business model. I don't have the answer yet to answer your question. But those people who were certified previously, no. The certificates that I mentioned in this presentation, it's not the same certification. It will be a separate product. Are you talking about RIPE NCC Academy? This is a different certificate, a different one. Is this about theory, or will it have the practical part? Because, I understand that you will be explaining how it works in theory, but what about practice? Can we get practical skills? The exam itself, the test, you pass the test at the very end. During the course, say, RIPE NCC Academy operates in Beirut, and there, theory and practice are managed, they're controlled by a professor who leads this course. So there will be like lab work, like hands-on exercises, like seminars. To answer your question, I guess you can say, yes, there will be the practical part. Well, if it intends some lab work, it means that there should be hardware there. And what kind of hardware? I think you should ask this question to Sandra. I think she will be able to explain what hardware is used. Because if it's a specific vendor, then how different is your course from the vendor's course? I'm sorry, I don't know the answer of your question. I don't know if a specific vendor is intended or is involved in Max?
Hello, Max again. Yeah, I think we are going to have labs that are going to be similar to what we do in the face-to-face course. So similar concept, but they will be different because, of course, we have to cater for a larger audience. So we're talking many more people than what we have in a small course with 25. So it's going to be slightly different, but similar in concept. I don't have details right now because we still have to work on them, but they'll be similar in concept.
But do you know about the vendor?
This? No. Microphone.
And what difference between this course? Можно по-русски же.
So what's the difference between your course and the course of a vendor? The RIPE NCC course and the vendor course, like Cisco, whatever.
The difference is that we are not going to be focusing on the specific commands to run on a router, but on the concepts behind it, like how is like the looking at the RFCs, looking at the mechanisms and how they should be implemented. Then how you do it from a vendor's perspective, that's different. But we're going to be focusing more on the protocol itself and how the protocol should be dealing with certain situations, how you get addresses, how you manage them, and so on. So it's more to be more of a general purpose, and then you can go and look at the. But again, we haven't started working on this, so there's nothing planned yet, and then we're open to suggestions on how to improve them, on how to have it the right way. But you're a MikroTik trainer. You focus on some specific commands and how to do things on a specific vendor. We can't do that, while we can still give you a nice knowledge about how the protocol should be and how it would be, how it should behave, how it should be configured, for example. And then the specific commands, that's a different thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Ну, опять же, через меня.
If you have questions, you can send them to Sandra via me. Neither this Max nor this Max are project owners. Unfortunately, Sandra couldn't make it to the Moscow RIPE NCC day, but if you have any questions, I mean, the questions that we can't answer ourselves, we will pass them on to Sandra. Is that it? No more questions?